Okay, so something pretty significant is happening with TikTok in the U.S., isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
This legislation, the potential forced sale of the American side, it feels like it could really shake things up online.
It absolutely could. And it's more than just, who owns the company. It really gets into who controls the conversation, the narratives we all see.
Exactly. And that's what's so interesting reading through our sources for this dive. They aren't just looking at the corporate angle.
Right.
They're asking what this means for, well, for us, for users, for creators.
Mm.
There's this thread of almost hope, a chance to maybe reshape things.
That hopeful angle is really striking, I agree. So let's maybe dig into that, this idea of a rebuilt TikTok, if it does end up with American ownership.
Yeah, let's do that.
One big thing mentioned is data privacy. For American users specifically, what could that actually look like?
Well, the thinking seems to be, much stronger safeguards.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe U.S. specific rules about what data gets collected, how it's used,
Mm.
perhaps even giving users more direct control.
Okay. That tackles a major worry people have had for a while.
For sure.
And then there's the algorithm. The sources talk about one that might prioritize creativity over just sheer profit. That sounds like a massive shift.
It does, doesn't it? It's kind of exciting to think about.
How would that even work practically?
Well, maybe instead of just the same viral sounds or challenges dominating,
Mm.
you'd see more like niche stuff, more original ideas finding an audience. It could really open doors for smaller creators, the ones without big marketing budgets.
Right, which ties straight into that other point, more opportunities, maybe even a fairer economic deal for those creators.
Yeah, economic redistribution was mentioned.
What kind of models are people suggesting there? Is it clear revenue sharing or?
Could be things like fairer ad revenue splits, maybe making tipping more central, or, finding new ways for creators to monetize directly, spreading the wealth a bit, basically.
It feels like this whole situation taps into that wider feeling, that kind of cynicism about big tech generally.
Yeah. Yeah, that feeling of being manipulated or powerless.
Exactly. So the idea that this TikTok situation could be what did the source call it? A signal fire.
Yeah, a signal fire indicating change is actually possible.
It makes you wonder why this moment feels different. Is it just the scale of TikTok or something else?
I think maybe there's just a growing frustration, a desire for more say in how these platforms operate.
Mhm.
This feels like a tangible moment where maybe the status quo can be challenged.
And it puts the spotlight right back on the individual, doesn't it? That quote was great.
Oh, the medium-sized dreamer one?
Yes. The medium-sized dreamer is back. The future of the internet isn't just about billionaires fighting over apps. It's about the kid, the artist, the grandma, the mechanic, the underdog with a story to tell.
I love that. It just captures that idea perfectly, that real innovation, real stories, they come from everywhere, not just from corporate HQs.
It's about unlocking that potential again, right?
Yeah.
Making the internet feel more human.
Yeah, centered on authentic voices. And maybe embedding certain values back into it, too, like free expression, genuine community.
How could new ownership actually help with that, do you think, beyond just the algorithm?
Well, perhaps a different approach to moderation, one that focuses on healthy discussion, not just maximum engagement at any cost.
Fostering better conversations.
Or maybe actively trying to showcase diverse perspectives, build spaces where people actually connect.
Which brings us to that really big question one source raised. It really makes you think.
What's next one?
Yeah. If TikTok can be reclaimed, what else could be next? Maybe it's time we stop asking, can we fix it? And start asking, what's the next thing we'll reclaim?
Wow. That shifts the perspective entirely, doesn't it?
It really does. It opens up. Well, what does it open up? What other parts of the digital world feel broken or misaligned?
Gosh, you start thinking about search engines, maybe other social platforms, even how news is distributed online. If something as huge as TikTok could be shifted towards users and creators.
Then maybe other things aren't set in stone either. It suggests change driven by people, by collective will, is actually on the table.
And like that source said, history isn't made by the elite. It's made by the ones crazy enough to believe they still have a voice.
So wrapping up, we're looking at this potential, this hopeful path towards a digital space that's maybe more focused on creators, that respects privacy more.
Yeah, and maybe reflects our values a bit better.
It definitely leaves you thinking, if this really is a turning point for TikTok, what else is out there? What other digital spaces are ready for a rethink, a reclamation?
That final thought from the Snuffington Press feels spot on right now.
Mm.
That idea that ordinary people still matter online and off. Maybe this is part of proving that.